Really glad to see you. And today I want to talk about how my trauma manifests into obsessive cleaning. And I do it to feel safe. If everything's in order, I feel I won't be attacked. I won't be in trouble. Everything will be okay. It's almost like I'm pleasing, some outside figure that's not really there. It's really hard for me to leave the house without everything sort of put away and in order. And it started when I was very young. My mother's father, so my maternal grandfather, had to have everything in order. Like, we'd go to the grocery store together and he'd place things in the cart in a very specific way. And all the labels faced a certain way in his pantry. And you would pick up lint balls off the carpet there. And you almost couldn't breathe. But that was a result of his trauma. He had been beaten almost to the point of death by a stepmother when he was young. And then he projected that same behavior onto my own mother. She was beaten. And it seemed pointless and purposeless. And when it was done, she was expected to stay mom. So she took that into her own marriage. And I was expected to keep our home clean. And I'd come home from school, I'd be 6 years old, and my note would read, vacuum the downstairs, take all the things on the stairs upstairs and put them away, fold the laundry that's on the bed and put it away, sweep the front porch, and make sure all the toys are picked up in the side yard. It felt a little cumbersome for a 6-year-old to have that kind of task list. If I didn't do the tasks, it would be brutal. I'd be punished and mostly met with violence, like force, like beating. My mother could be really loving and she'd give Martha Stewart a run for her money, but she could also flip on a dime her personality and start beating me for what I had no idea. And she was struggling with mental illness, and she was also struggling with a compulsive disorder when it came to food, which was medicated with diet pills. So that's speed. And so her behavior was very erratic. And I never knew when the punishment was, where the brutality was going to come. So I tried to stave it off by cleaning. And eventually I would start cleaning without her even asking me. I remember being 8 years old and she came into my sister and we shared a room. She came into the room. It was about 11:30 at night. She flicked on the light and she was putting away our laundry, and she didn't like the way my drawers were organized, and she started throwing things out of my drawer and screaming at me, and then went into my closet and started screaming for the disarray. And I didn't really understand. This was odd. Of course, I was angry when it happened. I was disrupted from sleep and I was shocked and I was hurt. But I didn't know this wasn't normal until I went to see the film Mommy Dearest in college. And that exact scene plays out. Joan Crawford goes into her daughter's room and starts screaming because the hangers aren't all going in the same direction. So these traumatizing moments stayed with me. And the way that I coped with stress and trauma, one of the ways as an adult was try to keep things organized and keep things clean. And it started to become a compulsion and more and more. And I would run myself ragged with my perfectionism. And I still have it to this day. It's very difficult for me to leave the house if something's not in its place. But I've been able to surrender and I understand it more clearly. So I can see my behavior now and I can make a choice. Like the other day, I have one of those floors and you see all the footprints so quickly. And I live in an area that's rural and all this dust and dirt always comes in. So I had a decision to make. Could I stay seated on the couch and continue to do what I was doing? Or did I really need to get up in that moment and take the mop and clean up the footprints? And I decided no, I didn't. And I sat with those feelings of discomfort. It was amazing what came up: fear, anger, just terror, a frustration, a feeling of being out of control. And I just watched it all. And then later on, when the timing was better, I did clean up those footprints. But it was a great exercise for me to just watch what happened when I didn't exactly jump on the need to perform. And every day that goes by, I make a choice. I understand it now. And there's nothing wrong with me cleaning unless it's getting in the way of my living life, of earning a living, of taking care of my health. And most people would love a clean house, but I have to watch it when it becomes the be all and end all. And there's a ferocity sometimes that I'll be cleaning with. And that's when I know this has nothing to do with that moment. This is post-traumatic stress being acted out. I mean, the example, I'll be vacuuming with a vengeance and speed. I'll be moving around, putting things in their place as if my life depended on it. That's the big red flag that I need to stop. I need to slow down. I need to take a breath, assure myself I'm safe in this moment, and I can return all the energy and the emotions that no longer serve me back to sender. And if I choose to continue whatever I'm cleaning, I do it with much less force. So I hope this personal experience helps you. Subscribe, share it if you feel somebody might be helped. And I usually post videos once a week. They're all about inspiration for transformation. I come from a traumatic family system, which you probably guessed. I've written a book on it. The link's below. And I'm just trying to share my experience to help you walk through it, because we're in this together.